The illiterate of the 21st century will no longer be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Alvin Toffler. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to this beautiful gathering, the 2024 Ruth Titilayo Educational Foundation Talks, popularly known as RTEF Talks. This year's theme is Educating for Your Future, Not the Past. My name is Abimbola Balogun, and I will be your beautiful host for this special event. This is where we delve into the minds of people with accomplished track records in their lives and careers to inspire us around topics centered about education and to also encourage our youth as they navigate their lives through their educational endeavors. A few housekeeping rules just before we go ahead. The webinar tool we are using does not grant guests access to their microphones or camera, so only the host and speakers have such privileges. However, the admin are available to provide any kind of support that you may need. Should you have any questions for the admin or speakers, please click on the Q&A icon located at the top left-hand side of your screen to submit them. Thank you. We would also love to know where you are joining us from, so feel free to let us know, drop your name and where you are joining us from in the chat section. Again, my name is Abimbola and I am joining from Lagos, Nigeria. So let's get the introductions going in the comments. To commence, let's extend a warm welcome to our keynote speaker. Today, we have 4 incredible speakers who will be discussing the theme, Educating for Your Future, Not Your Past, and different speakers will be speaking on other topics centered around this theme. Our keynote speaker for today is none other than Mr. Tope Awofeko. Mr. Tolu Tope is an accomplished professional with over 30 years progressive experience in the insurance and financial services sector. An astute leader with global experience in strategic marketing and client relationship. He holds an executive MBA from the Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria. He completed his first degree in agri-economics from the same university in 1992. He is a designated chartered marketer and a licensed financial advisor in the US and Canada. An avid learner and coach, Mr. Awofeko is constantly looking to improve self and others. He is highly committed to personal and professional success. He is an advocate for vocational and skilled trades education, and personally, he went back to trade school very recently to learn plumbing and electrical works. Mr. Awofeko is very passionate about technology and an early adopter of Internet of Things. He can be described as a man of the future, as he is always a step ahead in his thinking with regards to leveraging smart home technologies for productivity and convenience. Mr. Awofeko is a strong believer in human capability to drive positive change and a big inspiration to our youth. Ladies and gentlemen, join me as I warmly welcome our keynote speaker for today. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Bimbo, for that elastic introduction. So I want to say good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, forever zone you are joining for. And I'm truly honored to be here today as we begin the 2024 Ruth Titilayo Educational Foundation Talk, a forum that embodies the spirit of our mother Ruth Titilayo Taiwo, and our mission to unlock the potential within every individual through education. I would like to express my gratitude to the organizers of this event for extending this invitation to me. I consider it as a privilege to give this keynote speech among the esteemed speakers that we have here today. And I stand before you not just as a speaker, but as a fellow travelers on the ever-evolving journey of education. In the age of rapid technological advancement, we find ourselves at the intersection of tradition and innovation, challenged by redefining the very essence of education. So it is truly remarkable that Ruth Titilayo Educational Foundation is providing this platform today to exploit the theme, educating for your future, not your past. I invite and encourage everyone to pay attention and learn something new. The theme is a profound concept that challenges us to reconsider the purpose and the trajectory of education in our own lives. As we delve in, let us reflect on the transformative power of education and its role in shaping not only our personal journeys, but the collective future we are building together. Let me start by sharing my fundamental belief. Education is not merely a means to acquire knowledge, it's a lifelong process of self-discovery, growth, and adaptation. The origin of the word education is from a Latin root called educere, and the Greek call it educo, which means to bring forth, that is bringing out your internal gifting outside. So the theme education, educating for your future, not your past, invites also break away from the traditional notion of education as a static accumulation of facts. Instead, it encourages us to embrace education as a dynamic force that propels us to forward into ever-evolving futures. Like developing countries skew their education to their developmental needs. For example, the Spartan, they train their youth to be brave in battles, fearless, resilient. Hence, we have the Spartan courage. The Greeks are philosophically inclined, hence we have the likes of Socrates. So we should ask ourselves, how relevant are some of the things we have been taught today? For example, you are told A is for apple, and a good number of school children in Nigeria have not seen an apple before. We don't even have the weather to grow apples. It is important. We were taught laws like Newton laws, Avogadro's law, a lot of laws in our schools. But how can we make these laws relevant to us? What is our own law? When the British told us to speak English as a superior language to our own native languages. But do you know that the Igbo, the Hausa, and the Yoruba are even older than the English language itself? So we should be educated, yes, of course, but not to have that colonial mentalities, that colonial mindsets. So that's why I love the scripture that says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds. Also, the famous Bob Marley song that sang, emancipated yourself from mental slavery, none but ourselves can free our minds. So let me just leave that with that first line. So I want to invite you to see how we can make education you have received relevant to your society and use it to your God-given gift to solve current and future challenges in Nigeria. But allow me to share a bit of my own journey. Like Bimbo said, I graduated from OAU Ife in 1992 after acquiring about 10 years of work experience. I went back to school for my MBA, but I did not stop learning. I have a continuous learning mindset, and this played positively for me when at age 48, I retired from my job and I migrated to North America with my family. I could recall many of my friends and colleagues, they told me I'm crazy because according to them, how can I even think of starting again at that age? But because I have embraced education as a dynamic and not a static force, I was able to adapt to my new environment. Though learning, unlearning, and relearning are not without pains, but it is the most rewarding experience for me. So if you are not learning, I'm afraid you are dying. The famous Mahatma Gandhi says, live as if you will die tomorrow. Learn as if you will live forever. And science has proven this. I grew up with books. My dad owns and operated a bookstore. He remained curious and adaptive till he died at the age of 97. During COVID, I witnessed many people losing their regular 9 to 5 jobs. And I asked myself some certain questions. What am I prepared for the future? Immune from this white collar job loss. So at the age of 53, I went back to school to learn a trade that is relevant to my property management business, a professional skill that will be in demand even when the internet is down. And that was plumbing. As long as people use water, there will be the need for plumbing. I'm still on a journey. It takes about 4 years to attain mastery of the trade, but I'm determined to continue the journey as a testament to adaptability, resilience, and transformative education. So, what does it mean to educate for your future? It involves cultivating a mindset that value adaptability, critical thinking, passion to be prepared for the war because this change, there is going to be a change. And the only constant and the ability to navigate this uncertain because a crucial skill is needed. So I want to share with you 3 key elements of educating for your future. Firstly, developing self for future opportunities. To develop yourself for the future, you need to have the habit of personal development. Don't wait to be pushed. Push yourself. You need to be self-aware. Where are you today? Where should you be? What is keeping you from self-development? Like I told you, during COVID, I reflected and asked myself some hard questions, and I gave myself some answers. You need to be self-aware. You need to be adaptable. Adaptability is required if you want to seize future opportunities. Because change is coming, you must be flexible and adaptable. Like Thomas Edison said, when he went to school only a few months because he was considered as a slow learner by his teacher. He was taught reading, writing, arithmetic by his mother, but always very a curious child, and he taught himself much reading on his own. He developed many devices in fields such as electric power generation, mass communication, sound recording, and motion pictures. He never allowed schooling to affect his education. Julius Nyerere, the former president of Tanzania, said, you cannot develop people. People have to develop themselves. So it is not the strongest, nor the most intelligent of species that will survive, but the one most adaptable to change. So the second key of educating for your future is leveraging academic success for a sustainable career. You need to understand that your degree and academic achievement is just a part of the world picture. They will give you a foot in the door, but what keeps you in the room is the way you transform the knowledge you acquired to drive values. Value will continue to be relevant in the future. So you need to understand how to build a sustainable and fulfilling career beyond just having a degree on the paper. You can do it, I know it. You can unlearn looking down on yourself. You can learn to place value on your reality and your knowledge. You need practical skill. You need networking, social skill, soft skill. You must be curious. Stay relevant in rapidly changing job markets. Join associations, read books, attend forums like RTEF Talks. And the last key I want to share with you is harnessing creativity for positive change. In the world today, creativity is valued and rewarded. You think outside the box. In fact, remove the box. Be creative and drive positive change in the society. From the field of medicine, engineering to art and entertainment, creativity is required to stay relevant. I want to encourage the young people here to unleash their creativity self and use it as a driver for innovation and progress to the country, our dear country, Nigeria, and in our society at large. And the key to innovation is your mind. Innovation is doing things better than it was done before. For example, there's a company called Review Entertainment in Finland. They are the developer of the games called Angry Birds. Their revenue alone is more than what Nigeria makes on crude oil. I could also know there's a young guy trending recently on social media called Yakubu Samuel from Suleja that invented salt water lamp with no battery that could last for 70 days and could be rechargeable with salt and water. Another example is a 26 years old Nigerian called Emeka Nelson who built a generator that operates mainly on water. Nelson invented the water power generator despite lacking formal education or engineering certification. But I know there will be challenges because there is no journey without one. But however, these challenges present opportunities for us to be adaptable and to express our growth within us. So as we educate for the future, we must acknowledge the hurdles and the setbacks. It is overcoming these hurdles and challenges that we develop resilience, a quality that is critical as any academic achievement. So in closing, let us embrace this theme, educating for your future, not the past. Let our pursuit of education be guided by a deep understanding of its transformative power. Let us embrace interdisciplinary perspective and prioritize ethical considerations. Education is not just about acquiring degrees, it's about acquiring the skills, attitude, values that empower us to shape a better future for ourselves and those around us. So I encourage each of you to listen attentively to our speaker today and actively participate in the future of RTEF Talks. Continue to engage in meaningful discussions and open your mind to perspectives that may challenge your own. It is through this exchange of ideas that we can truly harness the transformative power of education. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to the enlightening conversations that we unfold here today. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much to our keynote speaker for that enlightening address. Now let's briefly reflect on some of the insights from his speech. He said, education is a lifelong journey. And if you are not learning, I'm sorry, you are dying. He also told us to embrace education as a dynamic and not a static force. He said your degree and achievement will give you a foot at the door, but how you apply what you have learned to drive positive change is more important. At over 50, he is still reinventing himself and developing himself to capture more opportunities. Mr. Awofeko definitely does not look his age. We need to probe his birth certificate, right? So thank you very much.